back in the Jeff Valdez Comedy Corner days, we would travel and do comedy, and the old Trail Dust Steakhouse at the corner of North Carefree and Academy. They had a Chippendales mail review for a fun, and when we were doing a fundraiser, and we made the mistake of following the Chippendales mail review, and the uh, the women in the crowd were louder than me screaming into a microphone. We just couldn't get anything done. They weren't listening. They didn't care. They didn't want to hear a bunch of stupid comedians tell a bunch of jokes. They wanted the Chippendales guys back out, and yeah, that was a lesson well learned.
Do you think it would have been better if you opened for them instead of
Absolutely.
okay, warm the crowd up or
Absolutely.
whatever?
Yeah, and I'm choosing my words wisely because when I said the women around the edge of the bar, I mean they'd been drinking for a while and they were they were not holding back, shall we say? They were pretty vocal in what they wanted to see.
Gotcha. So, but all of your troop at that time, you all stay clothed, right?
We as much as we could, yeah. Yeah, you didn't want to see us definitely not with our shirts off. You ever seen
Not
the Stay
compared
Puft
to
Marshmallow Man?
Chippendales.
What's that?
Not compared to Chippendales. I mean,
No, no, no.
that's a tough not act to follow, but comparison for anybody.
Especially, especially when we look like the Michelin Man.
Well, so what other stories do you have?
Well, we were doing a gig at the Flying W Ranch and sold the house out, 600 people, and we lost the audio about ten minutes in, and that was a bummer. And so the people in the front couple of rows could hear, but scream as we may. That's a big room, big
Yeah.
beautiful room they got over there, and so we kind of had to close the show early, and then I did a little tap and soft shoe to kind of keep the people interested. So
Interesting. But you're improv, so with that, and I've had audio issues at a workshop and it was bigger and it was just not good. So I can relate. However, since you do improv and you just go with the flow, I'm wondering, would it have been advantageous to just go into the audience? Your voice does carry, mine does not. So you have that going for you. But when you're in a situation like that, could you have gone into the and gotten interaction? Since you're improv, you guys do that really well. Or am I mistaken?
well, contextually, when she says that my voice carries well, she's saying, "Trip, you got a big mouth." But
Oh,
yeah, we we could have done that, and yeah, I can probably fill a fairly big room with my voice, but not everybody can.
true.
And and when people have to struggle to hear it, it's just difficult. And so it's always best to have the amplification. And yeah, being improv, I mean, nothing that we do is planned. It's not a skit of any kind. We're not going off rehearsal or anything like that. It's spur of the moment. It's just like whose line is it anyway? And they'll pull the card and say, okay, here's a suggestion. Now do this. And then there's different in improv contextual games that we call them, and one game we might have a person guessing and then everybody else in the group is there, like maybe it's called shopkeeper, and so the shopkeeper has to guess like three items that are being returned, and we're shoppers, and so we bring something back and give clues throughout the course of the thing, and the person has to guess. And there's a reason that I never guess because we try to keep the show to an hour and a half. If I were guessing, you probably see the sun coming up the next day. It's I'm not a good guesser, but you know to to answer your question specifically, going out into the crowd, yeah, we could have done that, but only the people within about 50 feet of us would have been able to hear well. And like I said, that's a huge room, a huge, beautiful
Right.
space, and it's just the people outside that 50-foot range probably wouldn't have been able to hear. And we were doing that up on stage, and there are some things where we do that. At our last show, we did something called press conference. It's a guessing game, and we'll go out into the crowd. Will it be like part of the press score, and the guy up on stage is the PR person for somebody famous who did something crazy. And so, we'll ask the guy, give me somebody famous, and
There's
the word.
nobody like that. That yeah, there's no material for that.
Well, we wound up taking Dolly Parton, and Dolly Parton was hailing a cab after eating at Taco Bell.
Alrighty
And
then.
so we had to get the guesser guy to guess that, and it was Paul. Paul's a great guy. He's one of the founding members of the group too. And yeah, he got Dolly Parton pretty quick, but the whole Taco Bell thing in the cab, it was just a smelly situation, if you will.
My goodness. Yeah, that is interesting. Now,